You're listening to Young and Restless Update 24. All the latest in television entertainment news. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone have a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In 2003, Victor and his son Nick confronted a dying Albert Miller. He abandoned his family, including Victor and Matt, and has never looked back. Matt and Victor's mother eventually placed them in an orphanage. Nick and Victor flew to Canada to meet Albert, who was dying, and they encountered hostility. Dorothy McGuire starred as Victor's mother, Cora Miller, in 1984. Cora abandoned her kids Christian, Victor, and Matt at an orphanage because she was unable to feed them after their father abandoned them. She promised to return but never did. In June of 1984, Victor located her and learned she was dying. Victor brought her to the ranch to spend her final days there. She was able to meet her granddaughter Victoria before passing away in August 1984. Victoria is Victor and Nikki's older child. Over the years, she, like all of Victor's children, has butted heads with him. She has worked for Newman Enterprises off and on over the years, even serving as CEO. Victor appointed her as his successor upon retiring, until half-brother Adam swooped in with a blackmail attempt to try and seize control. Now Victoria holds the reins so tightly they'll never again slip out of her hands. Victor was relatively quick to welcome to the Newman family. Victoria's most recent husband is Ashland Locke. It made sense, however. The guy had a shady history, but he wasn't Billy Boy Abbott, which in Victor's book is a Nick. Like his older sister, has been at odds with his father for several years. He, too, has worked at Newman Enterprises in a number of jobs, but he has also founded his own businesses, notably the magazine, Restless Style, and the company Dark Horse. He has previously been disowned his father, even attacked by him, and in retaliation, Nick tormented Victor as the specter of G.T. Hellstrom. Nick and his father are currently on goodish terms, for now. Of all Victor's children, he and Adam have the rockiest relationship. Adam grew up on his mother Hope Adams' farm in Kansas without realizing Victor was his father. He is considered the family's black sheep, frequently at odds with his brothers and Victor. He only joined the Newman family as an adult in 2008, following his mother's death. Most recently, he planned to poison his father, but Victor discovered the plot and faked his own death. He later attempted to acquire control of Newman by blackmail, claiming Victor murdered A.G. Montalvo, but it was actually a young Adam who did it to protect his mother Hope. In short, it's complicated. No one in Genoa City has married into the Newman family more than Sharon Collins. If she wasn't tying the knot with true love Nick, she was getting hitched to Adam. Just for good measure, she also wed Victor a couple of times and said, "I do" to Nikki's son, Dylan McAvoy. Matt, she's got to be coming for you next. Cassie Newman was Sharon's daughter with Frank Barrett. A teenage Sharon gave Cassie up as she couldn't care for her, and years later, once married to Nick, they found and adopted her. Tragically, she died as a teenager. When Daniel Romalotti was too drunk to drive, an inexperienced Cassie took the wheel and was involved in an automobile accident. As she died, she predicted another child for Sharon. Mom would later learn she'd had twins, and Maria was stolen at birth by cult leader Ian Ward. Have you got all of that? Maria, as fiery as her lovely red hair, fit right in with the Newman family from the start, which means she can make waves. She first launched herself at Nick, and then she made off with half-brother Noah's girlfriend, Tessa Port. Soon after Taraya adopted Lil Aria, the baby had her first major challenge: how to deter Sharon from stealing her rabbit. Grab your own, Maw Maw. Noah is Nick's son with Sharon. He had a difficult upbringing. What with his sister Cassie's death, his parents' divorce, and being recast all the time. As a teenager, he rebelled against his parents. He became a musician, barman, and manager. Noah began managing Top of the Tower for Victor before eventually leaving town. He's had a strained relationship with both Nick and Victor, and once accidentally backed over Billy Abbott, but who hasn't wanted to accidentally do that? For years, it seemed marriage to Victoria with nothing but bittersweet memories and the icky aftertaste of that period when they thought they might be half-siblings. But in 2023, he was dealt an even bigger shock than his attraction to his wife's former stepmother, Ashley. Ready or not, there came. Eve Howard's bat-guana-crazy sister Jordan waited more than a quarter of a century to avenge her by unleashing upon the Newmans Claire Grace, Victoria's late daughter with Cole. But it turned out that the young woman's sweet nature outweighed Jordan's toxic nurturing. When the chips were down, she kept her aunt from giving the Newmans a family discount on heart attacks. Summer, Hunter King here, is the daughter of Nick and his ex, Phyllis Summers. She is one of the many victims of crazy Sheila Carter, who kidnapped her as an infant along with Fenmore Baldwin. At one point, her paternity was called into question when Sharon tampered with DNA tests, making it appear she was Jack Abbott's daughter, which was especially awkward, considering her passion for his son. Summer, now Allison Lanier, married Abbott Hare Kyle not once but twice. But given the mess that their mothers have based on the Sweethearts' marriage, we're going to take a wild guess and say that the third time is the charm. Reed Hellstrom is the son of Victoria and J.T. Hellstrom. In 2010, he relocated to Washington, D.C., with his father and new stepmother, Mackenzie Browning. In 2016, he returned as a teenager with aspirations to become a musician. He was happy when his parents reconnected, only to hear that JT had become abusive towards Victoria, which was finally found to be due to a brain tumor. He was further shocked to learn Nikki had believed she had killed GT while protecting her daughter from him, and along with Sharon and Phyllis, buried his father's body to cover up the crime. GT returned alive and haunted the women. Sensibly, Reed left town to focus on his music education. Faith Newman is the daughter of Sharon and Nick. Her birth was prophesied by her sister Cassie on her deathbed. Shortly after Faith came into the world, Adam Newman stole her from Sharon, who was in a mental institution, it happens, and gave her to Ashley Abbott, who was also in the same institution, yeah, it happens. Ashley had miscarried her daughter with Victor after Adam scared her into a tumble down the stairs. Sophie then gaslighted her into believing she had followed through with her pregnancy and gave her Sharon and Nick's daughter. Eventually, Nick and Sharon learned the truth, and Faith was returned to her actual mom and dad for a whole less than M greater than different less than slash M greater than kind of drama. Connor is Adam's son with Chelsea Lawson. Chelsea initially claimed that Dylan McAvoy was the father, but Adam eventually discovered the truth. After Adam's supposed death, Chelsea raised Connor with Nick, with whom she fell in love. However, after Chelsea's schemes caught up with her, she fled town with Connor. She eventually returned, and Adam was revealed to be alive. Connor finally met his biological father and schemed to break Nick and Chelsea up and reunite his parents. He succeeded, but only up to a point. Will he try? Try again. He wouldn't be a Newman if he didn't. Katie is Victoria's daughter with Billy. However, when she was born, Victoria did not know if Billy or Stitch Rayburn, who she had a fling with, was the father. Johnny Abbott is Billy and Chelsea's son. She allowed Victoria to adopt him shortly after his birth. Chelsea, who was hired by Victor to break up Victoria and Billy, drugged and seduced Billy, resulting in the pregnancy. This is Johnny and Katie now that Paxton Mishkind and Sienna Mercury are playing the slightly terrorized kids. Christian is the biological son of Adam and Sage Warner, and the legal son of Nick. Sage claimed Nick was the father at birth, and Adam kept the secret. Nick was told his son Christian had died shortly after birth, but in reality, he was given to Sharon and Dylan, and Sharon, suffering from bipolar disorder, was convinced by her doctors that she had given birth to the boy she named Sullivan Sully McAvoy. In time, Nick learned the truth. When Adam returned from the dead, he and Nick fought over custody of the child, but in the end, Nick regained custody of the boy he had raised since birth. The son born to Abby and husband Chance Chancellor with a span style equals text decoration. Line through little less than slash span lot of help from Mariah and Devin Hamilton. Sometimes the tot looks like a blanket, nothing more, but that's just a cute game he like. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe my USR Media to our channel and stay with us.